NCT 127 have just dropped their third mini album after their debut in July 2016. So far, in my opinion, they've had a great track record with the songs they've released, and I was very excited for this one. This album is less hip-hop based than some of their prior music. This is more orientated towards the electronic pop music industry. Anyway, let's get into this. We're going to be reviewing the songs in order as usual. At number 1, it is of course Cherry Bomb, the title track and the name of this mini album. This is a really interesting track with some hip-hop but also some pop and electronic blends. The song is incredibly well produced, it's very neat. I also love how well the hip-hop line of NCT 127 have done on this song. Oh, forgive me, it is really hot in here, I'm actually sweating so much. The rap line did a really good job. You know, Mark and Taeyong are both very talented. Some of the criticism given to this song is that it focuses on those two in particular, and the line distribution is really poor. Personally, in terms of the song, it doesn't really make a difference. I think, if anything, it's a better song because it's more cohesive. And it can really off-put me when songs try to switch around the vocals and the rap parts too much, and it's changing all the time. It can get a bit irritating in my opinion. The transitions in this song really bug me. Going between the rapping and the vocals, it just sounds really iffy and awkward, and they suddenly try to slow it down, it sounds really bad. However, after a couple of, well, more than a couple lessons, you sort of get used to it, so it doesn't affect you too much. But what really does affect me is the pointlessness of some of the vocal parts. Just incredibly unnecessary towards the end, or all these parts where some of the vocalists come in, and it doesn't sound very good, it doesn't add anything to the song, it just slows it down and makes it less interesting. And it goes on for way too long. It really, they should end it at like the 2:50 mark, but instead it goes on for like another whole minute, and it's just a bit like, oh really, why? The last portion is just repetitive and a bit boring. But overall, the song itself, especially the rapping at the beginning, just phenomenal, really good. The second track, Running to You, this is a very highly produced electronic pop track. Once again, find the vocals are a little bit hammed in there. You know, the intro to the song really hooks you in, but then the transitions to the vocal part, it just sounds so awkward and ham-fisted. It just slows down the song so much, and I feel like, you know, SM, obviously, they're known for having very strong vocal lines, but I just feel like they don't need it all the time. However, the members do show off their vocal chops, which I do appreciate. Very good singing, it's just the way it's put in the song, it just doesn't sound good. The hook of this song is very fun though, and the rap parts are just really good. I don't really have too much to say about the song. It wasn't my favourite on the album. The third track on this album is 0 Mile. This is a brilliant retro dance pop record. It reminds me a little bit of some of SHINee's album, One of One. It was a lot of fun. They use these classic full drums and this bass guitar. It has some wonderful vocals as well. This is a personal favourite track of mine on this album, and if you're sensing a bit of a theme throughout this album so far, once again, this song is a lot of fun to listen to, pretty much for every song, even, you know, Running to You, which I wasn't hugely keen on. It's a fun song. They're just so positive and happy on this album, and I really appreciate that. The fourth track is Sun and Moon. This is an atmospheric pop track with a very spacious instrumental and these really flat drums. Honestly, the vocal delivery on this is quite plain, and the instrumental's quite dull. This song is the one on the album I would pretty much skip every time. It's just boring, and no matter how many times I listen to it, I just can't get into it, if I'm honest. The fifth song of this album is my favourite on the album. It's a bouncy electronic track called Whiplash. The rap verse at the beginning from Mark is my absolute favourite part of this album. It's just fantastic. His flow and delivery mixed with this fantastic instrumental just make for such a good part. The entire verse is incredibly solid, even going into it and looking at the lyrics, it's fantastic. The hook is catchy and it doesn't rely on the instrumental too much, you know, it's the words that make it catchy rather than just a fantastically produced hook section of the instrumental. It's quite hard to explain that, but so many songs these days rely on the beat of the instrumental at the hook and chorus phase of the song, and it's nice to see them use words. I just appreciate that. Taeyong's verse is also very strong towards the end, and I have the feeling this song is going to make my 2017 list because it is that good. I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, once again. And the final song on this album, not including the Cherry Bomb performance version because it's really not that different to the normal one, this is Summer 127. This is an extremely summery electronic dance pop song. Some very basic poppy vocals layered over an instrumental that is filled with different instruments. You know, you've got the main piano, but then you've also got some guitar, you've got some synths. There's also some very flashy drums mixed in there. I enjoyed the back and forth rap verse, I thought that was a lot of fun. However, the electronic sounds in the instrumental just make it a little bit boring and doesn't sound very real. But the retro style of the vocals and the harmonising to the ear, it's so sonically pleasing, and I actually really appreciate that because I generally don't like harmonising. However, it's just a little bit simplistic and boring, this track, if I'm completely honest. Not my favourite. Overall, this album is an incredibly decent release. Two favourite songs, Whiplash and Cherry Bomb. 0 Mile was also really, really interesting. However, Sun and Moon, Summer 127, couldn't get behind them. Neither was Running to You all that interesting. The first time I listened to it, I liked it, but for repetitive listens, I just went off it, to be honest. However, the album is overwhelmingly happy and positive, and it's just so much fun to listen to. I listen to this whilst working out, I listen to this while in the garden relaxing in the sun. It's just that sort of album where it feels like a summer album. I also like that they were extremely experimental with the genres they chose for each song. They usually are such a hip-hop focused group, but they got the electronic, they got the dance. There was even some R&B influence in here, which I liked. However, I do hope for another hip-hop focused project like their second mini album in the future, because that is generally what I tend to like. Overall, I'm giving this album a high 6, and that may sound low to you, but just remember, this is out of 10, a 6 out of 10, and it's not even like a 6.5, it's a 6.9. I feel a bit bad giving it the same score as like the GD album that just came out. Because for me, it's not on the same level. I did really, really enjoy this, but in terms of musical quality, I wouldn't say it's quite up there yet. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, if you leave a like in the comments if you want to watch in the future. This is going to be Ginno signing out. See you guys soon. Hey, thank you very much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that sort. If you really enjoyed me, then why don't you subscribe to my other channel, Dylan Ginno Upload Vlogs and Comedy Skits there. Anyway, how do I end off these videos? Why don't I just, you know, like fade to black or something like that?